A very good morning to you. Welcome to the Morning Brief right here on Channels Television. I'm Jeffrey Uzama.
It's a cool Tuesday morning right here in the heart of Lagos. Welcome to your perfect morning starter on Channels Television. It's the Morning Brief. I am Bukola Koka.
And I'm Karadoki Kulu. Let's get started from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Very chaotic scenes coming out of the capital of that state, Borno state, yesterday at about 7 p.m. We understand that 3 coordinated attacks were successfully implemented, sadly, with suicide bombers in 3 different parts of the state capital, detonating improvised explosive devices, killing a number of people. We're still yet to ascertain the figures at this point, but it is clear that a lot of people died, a lot more are injured, and the scenes are really, really chaotic. As we said, at about 7 p.m. yesterday, just right after Muslims were breaking their fast, these coordinated attacks took place. First happened around the post office flyover area in the state capital, the Monday Market access, which is quite close to that post office flyover area, and further down to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the entrance, as I said, during the period of iftar. And what followed, guys? Utter chaos. Emergency officials trying to respond, people just wondering what exactly is going on here. And honestly, it looks like we're back to what we had over 10 years ago with Boko Haram detonating bombs all across the state. It is sad. Lots of statements are coming out from the state governor, who is not in Nigeria as we speak, from the military authorities, from the police, and from the people themselves.
Well, this comes less than a week after the attack in Ngoshe town of, I believe, Gwaza local government area of Borno State, where quite a number of persons were killed and about 100 women and I believe children were abducted in Ngoshe town of Gwaza local government area. And, prior to that, there have been reports about consistent attacks on military bases in Borno State, Konduga, Marte, and I can't quite remember the names of the other towns as well. But we're counting attacks after attacks in Borno State. And just about, a few years before now, Borno had begun to witness calm and a return to recovery post-insurgency with plans by the state government for resettlement of, Nigerians who have been displaced as a result of the insurgency. And I recall also that the governor had visited some towns in border communities outside Nigeria, in Chad, with efforts to resettle Nigerians who have been displaced. But it appears as if those plans are now further down, the ladder, with the many implications of consistent attacks now in Borno. We've also witnessed suicide bombings. We've in fact witnessed mines, IEDs that are been planted prior to this time and are just exploding. There is a huge security concern in Borno, not just in Borno,
Indeed, Bukola.
especially in north, central and northwest Nigeria.
Yeah, and just to add to it, that yes, the police put the death toll at 23 persons at this point, but things are moving really fast, sadly, and it is feared that more people may lose their lives. A total of 108 people sustained varying degrees of injuries, and we have the police tactical units, the military, other joint security operatives said to have been swiftly deployed to the affected areas. The day before, we were just talking about suspected bandits arrested around the Ondo airport, and you were wondering what exactly is going on, but you didn't know that it was going to be Borno that will now see a heavy attack. But this is where we're at right now by suspected Boko Haram terrorists.
No, I have nothing to say. I have absolutely nothing. I think I'm tired of talking about this thing. I'm tired because we're dealing with human lives. It's not like anything else. Human beings are being killed. Human beings are being murdered. I'm not saying the government is not doing anything, but the government is not doing enough. So, guys, this morning I'm just tired of repeating myself. Nigerians are tired of talking. We're all exhausted. So it's now up to the communities. It's now up to the government to do what they have to do. The least you can do is to protect lives and property. That's all I have to say.
Well, that is the state of the vice president. So you'd expect that this has hit close to home. I mean, every area in Nigeria is home for the leaders. So wait to see the response from the president, who is billed for a state visit to the UK today. That is big on the agenda of the president right now. So will this make him stop that state visit? Doesn't look like it. What response would we see from the vice president? We're yet to see that, but clearly these are lives that should never have been lost. So it speaks to lots of coordination with the terrorists for them to have been able to plan this coordinated attack in 3 different areas, almost at the same time, simultaneously. So the process is they developed the bombs. Where did they get the materials from? How did they do it? Was it in-house or outside? How did they bring it in? How did they transport themselves? I'm talking about the suicide bombers. All that plan takes time to be able to coordinate that attack and implement it. It takes time. It takes a lot of information. So what exactly happened here? The big question we must solve, but it is sad to see that these soft targets are being attacked. And are we back to where we were before 2015? Big question.
I think we've just thrown our hands in the wind when it comes to nationals. You know why I'm exhausted talking? I would have loved to keep commenting if this will not happen again. I have said that the ease with which mass abductions happen in Nigeria is very mind-boggling. You've explained very intelligently how could this have happened and nobody was able to catch them or stop them or limit the number of the coordinated attacks. It's central. At the center of it, we do not have value for human lives. I'm ready to tell the president to his face, ready to tell the vice president, ready to tell anybody in authority, you and I do not have value for human lives. The day we do, the way we respond will change. At the center of this, these are just maybe like small screen, if you will. At the center, at the very core of the value chain, value system, is that we have very poor value for human lives. Look at America. How many soldiers died in the Middle East? About 6 or 7. When they were bringing their bodies back, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, went to receive, which is cultural to them, to receive those bodies at the very airport and, you know, did the salute and all the ceremony just to say, look, whether this war was right or wrong is inconsequential, but right now, we honor you for your service. Soldiers will die, statements. Citizens, civilians will die, just another statement. And then you give an order, and then we go through this cycle. It's exhausting. Let's upgrade our value for human lives. And I think in going forward, I don't know how we're going to measure whether state governors, local government chairman, and the president especially, how much value does the president have for human lives? Is going to be a way to measure candidates in the next election or elections going forward. That's all I have to say.
Well, that will be the elephant in the room, clearly, during this particular visit, and it's certain that some of these conversations would come up.